Now.
I'm saving up to see that alien extravaganza.
That's because rumor has it.
We need... Ecologies are living things. They move, they change. The way we handle Ash still works, for now. So we have to be prepared.
Hopefully, not so easy.
You need anything, Bloodhound?
Glad to be on the same path as you.
Hey, how's the kiddo, by the way?
She's doing great. She just lost another baby tooth.
Oh, hey!
Starting to
I heard we were getting a new tracker. Nice to meet you. Call me Tank, 'cause there ain't no stopping me. I'm new around here too, but if you've ever seen me run the Red Mile, you know I'm not just blowing smoke.
why I'm not out.
Anyway, hit me up if you want to swap pointers, or just shoot the shit, you know?
Scary. The crackers that stole through here.
I hear that.
Good. It's been good. Kind of easy compared to the Red Mile, maybe. I mean, people may be unpredictable, but they're easier to take down than the beasts on Porima 3. Heck, sometimes they give up willingly. And the other trackers seem to appreciate my work. Even the grumpy ones who think I'm too soft. But they shut up real quick when they see me in action. Probably because I'm too friendly. Almost everyone around here is either all business or standoffish. Maybe that's just what happens after you do this for a while. But nah, not me. Gotta take some time away from being a ruthless bounty hunter to be a real human being, you know? Otherwise, what's the point of it all? And it's the same with some of these targets. Some of them just messed up real bad and deserve another chance. You need to remember, they're people, and not just a picture with the fat cred stick attached. I don't know. There's gotta be something, right? Like, how would you deal with a target that seems ready to blow your brains out, but you know he's not in his right mind? Like he's on Aurora or something. Kind of. Yeah. No, it did. Almost exactly like that. It was my first mission, and I froze up. Luckily, I had a partner for the mission. He was creeping up behind the guy, tackled him and cuffed him before he could do anything. Obviously, I still think about it. Yo, that's smart. I like where your head's at. No sense dragging a corpse back if it didn't have to be that way. And plus, if you bring him in alive, he could face justice the right way. Yeah, I've been doing it for a while. 19 successful runs last I checked the leaderboard. Anyway, keeps my skills sharp, which is even more important now that I'm a tracker. I know I don't look like much of a tracker or a runner, but I'm cool with people underestimating me. Makes it that much more special when I crush their expectations. Hey, catch you on the flip.
Hey, Captain. Can I talk with you for a bit? You know, traveling with you has been more than just good old-fashioned fun. It's been, well, therapeutic.
When am I gonna get another assignment? I'm itching to get back out there and track down some bounties.
Well, I buried my pain about Irvin for so long that I needed a nudge and a different perspective.
You must do these things on your own. If you want to hunt a bounty, check the warning display. If you want a partner, you must ask.
I know. It didn't seem like it, right? Well, I was hiding it. Hiding it from everyone, including myself. I can see now how much it was affecting me.
Thanks for the clarification.
I know now that clearing Irvin's name would set me free from the grief. Well, just ask. Anyway, thanks for the support, Captain. Yeah, of course. Vasco is a fantastic co-pilot. He doesn't sleep, he reacts quickly. He's a fascinating friend. That's just a fact. Which brings me back to that plan I mentioned earlier. I think I know how to move forward now. But I'm going to need your help. My contact sent a gift. Yep, my friend from Neon, who has helped me out more times than I deserve. Nope. They were confident about not being detected, but not like too confident. Seems real to me. So they found an insurance settlement. Irvin's employers got paid as compensation for sabotage. Now, they claimed they had to ditch the whole mine and all the equipment inside and construct a new mine with new equipment. They were reimbursed for all of it. It seems that the mining company got a huge payout after they won the case against Irvin. We have the settlement paperwork from their insurance. Tons of money. Oh, also the cyber runner had to move on to other work, but sent me a passcode to some computer system. I'm not sure what it goes to yet. We can just hold on to it until we figure it out. But anyway, we have enough to move forward. The missing piece here is proving that Irvin was framed. So I discovered that Irvin's original lawyer still practices law, and she'll look over everything we found. Yes, I believe so. Every case she's worked on has been in the interest of regular, everyday people. She doesn't seem to be in this for the money. I mean, heck, she said she wouldn't even charge us for the initial consultation anyway. Irvin's case was her first case, she said. She always hated how it ended. And she's now got 2 decades of experience behind her for a rematch, too. Oh, detective. I like the sound of that. If I'm the detective, does that make you my trustworthy and sensible partner with a heart of gold? Well, I can work with that. Detective Barrett at your service. Anyway, we should take everything to the lawyer and see what she says. Maybe she reviews it and decides we have no case, or we need more evidence. I don't know. If we don't have a case, I can probably let it go. But I have to try. Yes, I've already arranged for my contact to drop off the evidence at our office. Oh, yep. I've got a key card for it. But I don't know what condition it's in. It's been 20 years, but I got the ventilation and power turned on, so I think it's safe. Fantastic. I knew I could count on you. You're as reliable as an atomic clock. I've sent a list of everything we've found so far to the lawyer in Gagarin. You know, I actually feel optimistic about this. Lead the way, detective.
Hey, what can I do for you? Sure, have at it.
Got a freighter coming soon. No time to talk.
Me to the stars, Captain. I was just thinking that this is about what Irvin saw all those years ago when he arrived. He probably stood here thinking that he was going to make things better. He had a good heart. We need to reopen the case. See if there's anything that was overlooked the first time. We've done some legwork remotely, but we need to do some good old-fashioned investigating now. Hopefully it will be enough to clear Irvin's name. Oh, you remind me of him sometimes, wanting to make things right. And when you said it out loud, I actually believe we can do it. I just hope our lawyer is as confident. Ellie Yankton. She worked on Irvin's previous case. Ellie is one of the few lawyers on this planet who's willing to take on the mining corporations in court. I sent that to our lawyer already. I asked her to confidentially review what we found. Yes, but listen. Nobody will stand up against the mining corporations around here. They're scared. She didn't want to lose the case, but she didn't have a lot to go on. Thanks to us, now she does. Right. She said she would meet us at our office when we arrive. Hopefully she can tell us what we need to do in order to clear Irvin's name. Let's stick together, though. Gagarin isn't a huge town, but it's not the kind of town that I want to get lost in.
Net construction is a dead industry, Chief Pretorius. Those jobs aren't coming back. But Reliant Medical, Archimite, and Satori Mills are dedicated to Gagarin. We were just hoping Gagarin could show the same dedication in return.
This is Ellie's law office. Perfect. She said she would be expecting us.
Well, well, well. Barrett, you're actually here. Astounding.
Ellie! Ellie, come on. I promised we'd stop by, didn't I?
People make promises all the time, Barrett. And most folks try to avoid Gagarin, not visit it. Anyway, I'm glad you made it out here. We have work to do, don't we? It's not a resort. It's a working town run by mining corporations. You don't come here unless you need to, and you don't stay unless you have to.
Or unless you're a bright-eyed, optimistic lawyer who genuinely wants to make things better for others. Right, Ellie?
You're kind, Barrett. Yes, I suppose there's that type of person as well. Yes. It was my first case as a bright-eyed, optimistic lawyer.
Well, starting your career with a defeat is rough, Ellie.
It was. But in a way, it made me more determined. Not exactly, but similar cases. A corporation commits a crime and needs a scapegoat, so they select someone powerless to target.
The quintessential Gagarin tale.
Indeed. Down to business. Perfect. What do you already know?
So we already know that Irvin worked for Hephaestus Mining Company years ago, and they blamed him for catastrophic economic and ecological issues here on Gagarin.
Yes. He lost his case because he didn't defend himself, and we had almost no evidence without him.
I recall receiving a message asking him to appear in court a day after his funeral.
An unfortunate reality of interplanetary legal communiques, I'm afraid. He was publicly blamed for the economic woes, and his accounts were seized in compensation.
His account on Gagarin specifically. It was just the amount he was paid years ago for the job.
Right. They would have taken his assets and other settlements, but by law, his death prevented it. Well, we can bring the case to a judge here if we have new evidence or a witness.
What about the evidence we found so far?
Yes, well, about that. It's just not enough. Not on its own, no. It's circumstantial. Helpful to support our claim, but not enough. Best case scenario, we clear his name and his assets are returned, plus additional compensation. In order for me to go before a judge, I'd like to have some solid evidence pertaining to motive. The courts won't entertain a challenge to its ruling unless we're sure that something major was missed in the original trial.
What was the motive from the original trial?
We had no solid motive after our witness withdrew his testimony. Yeah, we need something major. Documentation, recordings, a witness, something.
It's been so long. How could we find anything like that?
I've thought about this a lot since the original case. The mine that Irvin worked at was shuttered in 2309. They probably still have documents relating to whatever happened there with him.
Not really. All I know is that it's a Hephaestus mine from 20 years ago, somewhere on Gagarin.
I don't have a couple decades to wait for you to search them all, so we'll need to narrow it down. Not necessarily. To Hephaestus, it might be cheaper to run away and let the dust bury it all. That's where you come in. I don't know which mine he worked at when the incident took place. In theory, you could find that information on a Foundry terminal, if you can access it. You'll need a passcode. That's the hard part. Besides the Foundry records, there also might be something in Irvin's apartment. If he knew he was being framed, he might have held on to some documents there.
Dear Diary, today we created an ecological disaster and then blamed it on an off-worlder. Love Hephaestus.
Funny. But you'd be surprised how often people write down things that get them into serious trouble.
Oh, do tell.
For comparison, I just finished a case against another company that was charged with illegally dumping waste near the town's water supply. Their permits specified a site that would have cost twice as much fuel, so they sent a memo to the driver to dump it at the first available location just outside of town.
They actually wrote that down. Classic. Makes sense to me.
You've been hanging on to that old apartment this whole time, Barrett?
Yeah, it was easier to not bother with it. Not like it's worth anything in this economy anyway.
I hope you still have the key.
I have it. Figured maybe I'd sell it while we were here anyway. May as well, right?
Hopefully, that's enough to work with for now. If you'll excuse me, I have to get some court documents ready for this case.
I should still have the key to Irvin's apartment. I hope it's worth our time, but I can't be sure. Irvin's old apartment isn't far from here. I doubt there's much in there, but it's good to check.
Buzz off, all right?
They probably never intended for these walkways to last this long. Well, this is it. Irvin's old apartment. Here, use this key. Irvin didn't live here for long, but he certainly had a lot of junk here. I had no idea. Now I get why he wanted me to look after the place. No windows, insufficient power for proper lamps. Oh, he must have been miserable. No wonder he wrote so much. Wait a second. What about this safe? I bet it's locked by a terminal. Ah! Open! The suspense is killing me. He lived here for a few weeks. The plan was that I'd join him here. But everything went to hell with Hephaestus, so I didn't. I wouldn't have liked living in this metal box anyway. Me? Oh no, definitely not. I didn't even want him to go to Gagarin. But he didn't think it would take long. It shouldn't have been a big deal. And now it's one of the few things I have left of him. After all this is said and done, I will probably do just that. The honest truth is that it was easier to ignore. Back to the case. Well, I'll be. If you ever doubted Irvin's genius, look at all this. Still chugging along 20 years later. Hold on. Is that what I think it is? Irvin only lived here for a couple of months, but it felt like an eternity. That is an extremely impressive specimen. And somehow it's managed to stay alive for the past 20 years. I'll hold on to it for now and see if I can't dig up some of Irvin's research on it. Gagarin has seen some better days. Aha! Will you look at that? If we go to town hall, I bet we can get a copy of that hunting license. Is that Irvin's employment contract? Let me see. No idea where mine H363 is, but we could search for it at the Foundry database. All right, we've got some solid leads, it looks like. The employment contract and the hunting license at Town Hall. Much better than liquid or gas leads. That much is evident. It was a bit strange going through Irvin's old things, though. I was hoping for some old pictures, but the plant is a good consolation prize. No, but I did find a few slates that might give us a clue, as well as a reminder to finish a physics paper that I never did. Yes, and it was always a remarkable species with an even more remarkable story. I wonder if the same is true for this guy. I'm not sure. It might not even be a plant. It might technically be a fungus. But there's probably a reason why Irvin tried his best to keep it alive. When we get back home, I'll go through some of his research notes. It might tell us something more about this plant. Hopefully it's not poisonous. Witchcraft, probably. But if you want a more scientific explanation, I have a couple of theories. It could go through states of hibernation, or draw moisture from the air the way epiphytic plants do. There's also that habitat dish Irvin set up for it, which gave it light and nutrients. Still, I'm not ruling out witchcraft. No, maybe not. But it helps me. Irvin was the last person to handle this plant. It mattered to him. No matter how the case goes, this warms my heart. I didn't expect to find it, but I love that I did. In any event, I'll go through Irvin's notes in more detail later. There's probably a flowchart somewhere with this little guy's name on it. Oh, on that note, we should give it a name. I'm thinking something simple yet refined. What do you think of Harvey? Then it's unanimous. Okay, the three of us should get back to it. You, me, and Harvey have a case to solve.
I wonder if there are any mining jobs on Mars these days. Put up with some dust.
Watch your step. It's easy to take a sudden trip around here.
What? Look like the welcoming committee or something?
You ever read about the early history of spaceflight? So political. So familiar sometimes.
You have any problems? You should
Foundry
talk to
district
Chief
isn't too
Gregorius.
far from
She'll
here.
help you out.
Yeah. This town hall has seen better days. Hopefully that public access computer is still working. So, the hunting license was sponsored by Hephaestus after all. Ellie will be very interested to see this.
I've got applications in at Arcmite and Reliant, and I know most of the other applicants, so I think I'm assured. Apparently, the corporate execs are talking about building their own priority catwalks above. City. Been up there? Good luck.
Coordinates look valid to me. Imagine Irvin thinking the same thing all those years ago. Just a job, right? Well, at least we know where to keep looking, right? Essentially any documentation that screams, Irvin isn't guilty, we made it up. This is what we do. We're explorers, adventurers. But yeah, other than that, it's my fight. I don't want to get anyone else involved. I guess we'll see what state the mine is in. It's possible they collapsed it before they left. We just won't know until we get there. If that's the case, we'll just have to figure something out. Careful. This place was shuttered 20 years ago. They have new tenants now. This looks promising. This looks like administration. Company records. Bingo. All right. Now let's go find Irvin and Helgi's lab stations. was the destruction of the bacterial colonies, not the apex predators. So, they ruined the ecosystem here, and it had nothing to do with Irvin. This is it. This is what Ellie needs to see. That didn't take long at all. sulfur. Seems like Helge tried to do the right thing here. I'm sure Ellie would want to see this. He's citing numerous ethics violations dating back to before Irvin's time, and Hephaestus just ignored him. if those things moved in after Hephaestus left. But these things chased them out. Garn has always been a bit of a pit in my stomach. I know it wasn't related to Irvin's death, but it happened right before he died, so the events were both emotionally linked to me.
End of the colony war hit your guard.
All these fancy new businesses going up, and we still can't get them.
I have something for you. Ellie, I sent you all the data from the mine already. As I'm sure you know.
Yes, I've been reviewing it. Sit down. Let's have a chat about it. Welcome back, you two. How was the trip to the mine?
You're gonna love this, Ellie.
Okay, someone better tell me. Come on.
We found the coordinates to Irvin's old work site and went there. Huge battle. Fire, explosions. Pew, 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 pew.
Barrett, please.
You should have seen the plants in there, too. Weird stuff. Anyway, you read over the documents we found there, right? What do you think?
What you both found in that mine is remarkable. These documents show that the chemicals released by the mining process contaminated the ecology even before Irvin was tasked with removing the predators. And they also show that Helgi informed Hephaestus of the issue, and it was repeatedly ignored. And with that, I think we've got ourselves a case, my friends.
Yes! That's what I wanted to hear, Ellie. Woo!
Yes, but it's still likely to lose. Because what we really need now is Helgi as our witness, and that is a problem. Helgi isn't an ideal witness at all. He was our star witness the first time, and he never showed up. Plus, he's got a reputation around town. After he quit, he went a bit weird.
I can handle a bit weird. I know the captain can too.
Clearly. But the judge might feel differently. It might be worth finding some character witnesses too while you're looking for him. I'm glad you're taking it in stride. It's just, for a case with this much science, we need the man who wrote the claims to back them up. Maybe even explain it in layman's terms. That's also a bit tricky. He's hard to find. Doesn't really stay in one place for long. We could, but I think we'd lose the case, bluntly. We can verify these documents are real, but Hephaestus can counter by attacking Helgi's character. They'll label him a disgruntled employee and then find a dozen independent scientists to confirm Irvin was at fault. But with Helgi in court, he can explain the science and help me challenge any countering theories during cross-examination. You might ask Dr. Kayala. She checks up on folks who fall through the cracks sometimes. You'd have to convince her to tell you where he is. That might be hard.
Sounds like we're making a stop at the med clinic. We'll be back when we convince Helgi to be a witness.
Listen, if he refuses, then he refuses. Can't force him.
Yeah, we don't want to press him too hard. The last thing we need is him refuting what he wrote. This is going to take a light touch, but I think we can handle it.
Do you need medical assistance? Are you injured? Is there something I can help you two with?
Do you happen to know Dr. Helgi Hodgson? We're trying to get his help with something.
Sorry, who are you exactly?
We're detectives. Self-taught and unaffiliated. Freelance detectives. With the emphasis on the free part.
Wait, what? Detectives? Sorry, I don't think I know what you're talking about. No, not really. I mean, there's Irvin the Slaughterer and Irvin the Scourge of Gagarin, but I doubt that's the same person, right? I treat anyone who walks in my doors, if I'm able to. I'm sorry, I'm not a tour guide. You'll have to ask somebody else.
We're trying to help him. And Gagarin, actually.
Only every single time I see him. But listen, I don't have time to chat. Ellie's a good person. That bodes well, but I can't violate my oaths. I'm sorry. Listen, I can say that Helgi took up a job working at Clint's store just down the way. I saw him there stacking boxes the last time I picked up an order. I've got to get back to my work here, so if there's nothing else... If it's patient medical records you're after, I'll remind you, I'm not at liberty to discuss that.
We're thinking of taking Hephaestus to court with Dr. Hodgson as a witness. Now, given his situation, we're worried the defense might cast aspersions on his character, even question his mental health.
That's unfortunate, but not surprising. Look, if he agrees to testify and grants me permission, I could vouch for his well-being.
Thanks, Doc. If he does end up testifying, we'll definitely need you for the trial. Ellie Yankton will be in touch.
No promises, given patient confidentiality, but I'll do my best. I need to get back to my work now, if you don't mind.
I was thinking about going for a hike outside.
If you have any problems, you should talk to Chief Pretorius. She'll help you out.
Welcome to Clint's. Whatever you need, I'm sure I've got it lying around somewhere. Except mech parts. Don't trade those anymore, so don't waste your time asking. Well, for one, it's illegal in UC space. Making mech platforms used to be Gagarin's bread and butter. So, since they were banned in the armistice, I get 1 to 2 folks a month asking what kind of relics I might have lying around. But I'm not about to risk a contraband fine at my age. So that's why I just lay it out up front. If you need anything, just follow the sound of falling inventory. You'll find me eventually.
Funny you ask, because I'd like to know too. He owes me a sizable debt. Enough that he's no longer allowed in my store. I don't like denying service to anyone, but it's the principle of the matter. I've seen him around, but never in one place, except when he needs money. I offered him a job, but he showed up to work drunk one day and I had to let him go. I don't have any ill will toward him. Sure, the credits I'd like to have back, but only because it'll mean he's gotten his life together. Yeah, I don't want to be mixed up with anything like that.
No, I can't. Sorry. I wish I could help, but I can't see how. You don't know what you're talking about.
Sorry, that's your business, not mine. Try asking Delito in security. I had an incident with Helgi the other day, and security brought us both in for questioning.
Plenty on offer.
Someone painted some choice words on
Tell me you're here to just report a good old-fashioned crime? If I have to deal with one more corporate exec begging for special treatment, I'll eat my badge. Oh, you haven't heard? Gagarin's going to be the next new Atlantis, or so we've all been told. Centauri Mills, Arcmite, Reliant Medical, they all bought up and renovated derelict buildings here in the city in the past couple years. We needed their jobs, to be sure. Gagarin got hit hard after the mech plants were all shuttered when the colony war ended. But I'm not sure I've ever met a more entitled group than these executives. Treat the city like an amusement park, and all of us as the amusements. It's kept me and my people plenty busy. just not with actual policing. But I'm sorry. Did you actually need to report something? Guess I'm off the hook then. But look, I'm Security Chief Pretorius. If you do have anything to report, you can speak to me or one of my officers. We're always around. If you need to file a report on him, please use the computer there.
How long would that take?
5 to 10 business days. Now please, move on. Good. She could use their help. She would agree that following procedure by filing their report is your best option, legally.
Excuse us, folks. Important detective business here. Okay, I got an idea. That terminal probably has reports on persons of interest. If you don't mind distracting the chief for a while, I can dig into the system and see if there's any clues. Great. Just talk to the chief and exercise that gift of gab.
Like I said before, if you need to file a report on him, then please use the computer. Yeah. Find the big statue, go to the plaque, and look to your right. What kind of question is that? You're right. Yes. Go to the statue, and it will be on your right. Okay, that's enough. We're done here. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Thank you, officer. You've been very helpful. We are all done here. All right. I was able to find out where Helgi lives. It's down on the lower levels. The Gagarin slums, more or less. I just hope he's willing to help us. It's been a long time, but also a long time coming.
Apparently the corporate execs are talking about building their own priority.
I don't suppose you're here to tell me I've won a ticket to a new planet, huh?
Sorry, Doctor. Not today. We came to Gagarin to investigate Irvin Mandani's contract with the mining company a long time ago. Ring any bells?
Irvin, yeah. Biologist. Hunter. Yeah, I remember him. Why? Who are you people? Then find the history slate. An ancient history slate. Because that's what it is.
Please. Irvin was once one of your colleagues. He was the one Hephaestus blamed for an ecological disaster about 20 years ago. Do you remember any of that?
No, I don't remember lies. He passed on. That's a kick in the pants, isn't it? Well, sorry for your loss and all that, but I can't bring back the dead or anything. So you can go now. Thanks.
Look, I know this is strange. We show up out of the blue about things that happened decades ago. But right now, nobody save us knows the truth. And that means we're the only ones who can clear Irvin's name.
And what of it? You probably think the sky is blue too. Well, you'd be wrong. It's whatever color Hephaestus says it is.
Only if you let them. You're a scientist. Your words matter. That's why we need you to testify.
Testify? The trial is over, the verdict rendered. In case you two clowns didn't get the memo. I remember not to talk with people who come asking questions about powerful corporations. Believe it or not, I don't need or want your money. I made enough of it by working for massive mining corporations. I don't need to risk anything else. Because I tried before, and they threatened me. 20 years ago. I still wake up in fear almost every night. They said if I ever left Gagarin, I left my wife to protect her. She didn't deserve any of this. Any of my mess. Ellie Yankton? But why? It doesn't matter. Nothing's changed. I cannot do that. Why is this so hard to understand here? Hard to argue with that.
Bank transactions. A precise amount was transferred to the judge only the day before the ruling.
Doesn't surprise me they'd leave a paper trail. I'm no lawyer, but might be grounds to throw the old verdict out. Yeah, been a thorn in my side, back and foot for 20 years. Maybe it's time I just pull it out. Fine, you've convinced me. I'd be willing to testify on one condition. I want to know what happened to Irvin. Because when he disappeared, let's just say I had an epiphany. Hephaestus didn't need to say a word. That's when I knew the threats against me and my family were real.
Dr. Hawkson, it wasn't Hephaestus that took Irvin's life. It was the war. Irvin was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Caught in the crossfire.
Then I am sorry for your loss. It won't change the past for either of us. But I will testify. And maybe, wherever Irvin is, you'll be glad that we can finally stick it to those assholes at Hephaestus.
Thank you, Doctor.
Yeah, don't get all mushy on me now. I need a drink.
Share the catwalks, all right? I don't want to have to fish anyone else out of the canyon.
I have something for you.
Okay, you two, lay it on me. Did you find Helgi? Did he agree to testify?
Well, we've got good news and, well, that's it. Just more good news.
Okay. Does that mean he said yes? Then we better hope that our other evidence holds up. What do we look like? New Atlantis? No. Well, that is perfect. She's probably the best person to call on should Hephaestus decide to play dirty. Well, you two have done all that you could. Now it's time to hand the baton off to me.
What do you think, Ellie? Do we have a chance?
The evidence you've gathered is impressive. It truly is.
So what's the verdict? In this case, I'd say spoilers are appreciated.
I almost never say this because I don't want to jinx it, but I think this case is a slam dunk.
Huzzah! That's what I like to hear.
I think we can do everything on our checklist. Clear Irvin of any wrongdoing, charge Hephaestus with the cover-up, and even restore Helgi, Dr. Hawkson's standing in the scientific community. All in all, though, really outstanding work. We wouldn't have gotten this far without your efforts. And I've got to imagine that wherever Irvin is, he appreciates it too.
Agreed, Ellie. And thanks for being our anchor in this. We should probably get out of Ellie's way and let her do her thing. We can talk more in private. Wow, we actually did it! Solved the case, and hopefully cleared Irvin's name. I feel like, what's the old saying? A great weight has been lifted off my shoulders? But it's actually true. I feel like I'm 80% biomass and 20% aerogel. It's a substance that is literally lighter than air, depending on the planet. Habitable planets tend to range from 1 to 2 milligrams per cubic centimeter. Most aerogels are about 1/10 of that. I feel like I'm currently hovering in that territory, give or take 1/10. Thanks. I was trying not to be too optimistic about our chances, because that's when a cosmic reversal kicks in. But I think it's okay in this case. We've already proven Irvin's innocence, and I trust Ellie to explain it. Ellie would know better than I, but I doubt it'll be anytime soon. These things tend to involve a lot of red tape. It's a special kind of adhesive that makes you stick to old filing cabinets and manila envelopes. I hope so. It's always a tug-of-war between the workers and the mining corps. But there's one thing we've got in our favor. There's more of us than there are of them. All it takes is for the people to realize it. I'm feeling great. Although I could do with some wine and cheese. Why stop at emotional satisfaction when we can indulge in the culinary too? But if I can be serious for a moment, thank you. I couldn't have done this without your help. That makes 2 of us. 3 if you count Harvey. And who wouldn't? He's practically family. In fact, Harvey's got a little explorer in him too. According to this slate I found, turns out that our spiky friend's been all across the galaxy. I doubt it. Harvey's a wanderer. Getting lost is how he finds his way home. We've been through a lot, haven't we? I had forgotten what it was like to work with someone so closely. When you joined Constellation, I didn't know what to expect. I was just reflecting on everything we've been through, you know? It's impressive. On top of everything else we've done together and with Constellation, yeah, I think so. Investigating Irvin's case with you is something I'll remember forever. I've come to realize that some events, some people, stand out as pillars of my life. It's whatever leaves an impression on you, right? Moments that define our lives, where our future diverged from our expectations. People who changed you, or people you've changed. Yes, some of them do. And if we're lucky, they change us for the better. We only get a brief moment in this universe to interact, to feel, to be who we are and experience the range of emotions that our bodies and minds have evolved to comprehend. And the definition of that changes for everybody. If one is fortunate, you might even notice events and people changing you while it is in motion. Like any group, Constellation is only capable of doing that because of the people within it. I've explored many worlds, and I've worked with Constellation for most of my life. I cherish those memories. But you have changed me as a person forever. I don't want to look back years from now and wonder what if. I need to know what you think about us. Here we are, the most fortunate people in the galaxy, because we get to explore it all together as friends. Fascinate me. Ah, good. I have to meet up with a contact to discuss a... you don't need the details. But anyway, this works for me.
Got anything you need to offload? Trade Authority is always buying. Kiosk right here for you. Sure, have at it. Okay, no problem. I'm sure you can find something you like.
I don't mind these breaks in the silence. I'm pleased you chose to join us. Call me inevitable. In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't. The Trackers Alliance will function and thrive even without your help. Nevertheless, I agree with Agent Number 1 that you could prove to be a valuable asset for the Alliance. I would rather you with us than against. Yes. I chose this call sign to remind me how important it is to take my time. My work may take longer than others, but I never make mistakes. And I always find my quarry. No one has escaped me in over 40 years. You're welcome. All I did was extend the invitation. You decided to follow through and brought yourself. I didn't choose to recruit you, but I did the research and tracked you down. Surprisingly, it was not easy. Oh, I know about your parents. But after doing some recon, it became clear that your father is not the best at keeping secrets. So it would have been too risky to potentially expose myself. But evidently, you are. They never seemed to know where you were. By the way, you may want to get in touch with your mother. She, complains that you never call her anymore. A lot. Well, from what I can tell, despite your notable accomplishments around the settled systems, you don't stick around anywhere for too long. And following you can be a challenge as well, since it seems to be by whim where you go next. I followed some tips, then picked a busy port and waited. I'm nothing if not patient. I knew it was only a matter of time before you showed up. For you, yes. A good tracker should be as a shadow. Elusive, unnoticed, yet ever present. For me, let's just say it exposes a vulnerability in my armor. Perhaps my skills are not, what they once were. Not much. I've been doing this longer than any of the other trackers, even Agent Number 1. I pay little mind to the claim I was the best. I've no need to compare and no ego to feed. Not like Roach chasing some asinine record. My specialty is tracking our most elusive targets, which takes longer. Sometimes months or years. I do my job thoroughly, and that's all there is to it. That being said, I rarely go on the hunt these days. My experience is now far more valuable as an agent than a field tracker. Yes, patience is your #1 virtue. That is something I did not understand fully when I was younger and less experienced. As a novice tracker, I was impetuous. One of my early quarries took advantage of this. He would wait for me to act rashly and falter, which gave him the upper hand he needed to escape. The cycle would repeat. He evaded me for years. It wasn't until I understood the value of patience that I caught up with him and finally claimed the bounty on his head. It's how I earned my call sign. It may take time, but I always get my mark. Not quite. It is rare that a tracker lives long enough that they can choose to retire. Those who do are truly fortunate. Some of us decide to continue our service to the Alliance as agents and offer our services as guides and teachers. Our experience is valued. Does that worry you at all? Does it change your mind about wanting to be a tracker? Fair enough. A pragmatic approach is sometimes best. This isn't a gang, you're allowed to leave. Just understand that the work may be more difficult than you might think. Bounty hunting tends to paint a target on your back, and attracts those looking for revenge. Leave no quarter.
The Alliance is strong and getting stronger by the day.
What can I do you for, young gun?
You're always welcome to relax here, between jobs. Well, you're a new face. Ain't every day we get fresh meat for the grinder. What do we call you, Tracker? Huh. I hope you do your hunting out there and not in here. Not that I mind the company. What can I get for you, Wraith? Oh, where are my manners? They call me Two-Shot, or even Touche for short. Used to be a tracker in the field like you. But I traded in gunslinging for slinging drinks. I sell drinks to wet your whistle and other provisions you may need out there. So what'll it be? You know it, Sunshine. Who do you want to know about? There's no story there. That's kind of the point with any Agent No One. You gotta give up your identity completely when you become leader of the trackers. That job comes with a giant target on your back. So, the less people know, the better. Agent No One is like a closed book. If that book were also glued, clamped, chained, and buried underneath an active volcano on the most distant moon of the most distant planet of the furthest star system. Oh, she's been doing this longer than anyone, I think. She's old, but don't count her out just yet. Rumor is she was next in line for Agent No One, but turned it down after the last one was killed. She even brought the killer to justice. Word is, she just liked fugitive recovery a lot more, or didn't want the responsibility. I lean more towards the latter. It makes more sense considering she's an agent now. Anyway, they used to say that the longer she bides her time, the more a fugitive has to fear. He talks a big game, even has the skills and stats to back it up. But you probably also know as well as I do that he is fiercely competitive. You can either play into it or ignore it. He's not that bad once you get to know him. You ever wonder why he's called Roach, huh? It's because he seems to be unkillable. Not literally, of course, but he's managed to get himself out of some extremely sticky situations unscathed. He's a big teddy bear. Such a departure from the norm around here. Oh, I also know he's run the Red Mile under his tracker call sign, which may get him into trouble with someone someday, but it's his decision. I like to think of Koyos more as equipment than anything else, but it's still vital to our operations. I don't know who programmed it to maintain and access our database over short-range wireless, but it's secure from what I can tell. I just wish the programmer's attitude didn't show through. I could do without the sass. Oh, he isn't exactly the conversational type. Seems to enjoy the company of others, but not talking to them or interacting with anyone in any meaningful way. We just leave him alone and let him do his thing. He doesn't bother us, and we don't bother him. Other than that, I don't know much about him. Seems to be a good tracker, though. Suit yourself. Funny you ask. Most trackers choose their call signs. So did I. Used to be called Solar Flare, but enough people started calling me Two Shot that it stuck. When I was out there, it never took me more than 2 shots from my firearms to bag my target. Thought I would have given it up once I retired from tracking to have a kid. I pour such strong drinks that now they say it doesn't take any more than 2 shots to down a tracker. So, it stuck. I'm just happy they decided to keep me on the payroll. You got it, tracker. Take a look. Yama, you track blood in all over my damn floor.
Yes, that was likely me.
Well, could you not? I'm tired of cleaning up after you. I mean, look at you now. Not a speck of blood on you. You clearly know how to clean up after yourself.
For you, I will try to be more careful, but I make no promises.
Fine. Well, maybe I don't make any promises to give you a clean glass to drink out of. How's that for you?
You must harden yourself against doubt, or succumb to its woes. I have seen death. I have seen tragedy. I have seen more beg for their lives than I can count. But what I haven't seen is a fledgling tracker seemingly so willing and eager to speak with me so soon after joining. What knowledge do you hope to gain from our interaction? Indeed, a strong name. I am Yama. I borrow this name from the god of the dead, who judges the souls I usher to him. My stories are not for your amusement, but I will share one so that you may learn from my mistake. There was one time I decided to let a man live. He had a family, a wife, 3 children. He showed me a picture. They looked happy. He begged I let him live and spend the rest of his days incarcerated. So, at least he could see them occasionally and watch his children grow up from afar. He escaped from prison. He went home and murdered his entire family, and the family next door, and several others. By the time I found him again, he had killed himself, robbing me of the chance to pass him off to face his eternal judgment. Never again. I must warn you, my advice may not be palatable. I hope those are not just words.
I strongly insist that you consider heeding my advice. If you are given the choice between bringing your targets in alive or dead, always choose dead. Criminal fugitives must be brought to justice, and the only way to truly serve that justice is to end their lives so that they can be judged fairly in the afterlife. Correct. A criminal fugitive is already trying to run from justice. They will do it again, if given the chance. It is in their nature. Would you allow even a slim chance that they escape again? Even if they turn from their criminal path, would you deny their victims true justice? You put your faith in humankind when I have seen it at its worst. Simply put, we are fallible, and as such, so is our justice system. Even if you do not believe in the divine, I doubt you could sleep well knowing a corrupt justice system allowed a criminal to escape when you had the authority to enact justice yourself. There is not much I wish to divulge. Whatever you have heard about me is likely true. I do not bring back my targets alive. I aim for brutal efficiency. I do not work well with others. You must know, I do not feel the need to appease or delight anyone. I take jobs no one else wants, and I always get it done. That is my value. Leave no quarter, show no mercy.
Well, if it ain't, now what call sign did you take again? Wraith. Oh, kinda spooky. That's a name to inspire fear and let 'em know death's on the line. Well, I can see why you'd take that name. You got my seal of approval. Not that you need it. Name's Bloodhound. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Loads. But let me tell you just one. So, I'm down at some ass-backwards moon outpost out in the boonies. Got this old feller in my sights who's wanted for thieving from Ryujin and the other big corpos. Now, he don't know I ain't gonna shoot him, but he's itching to do something stupid. Then his kids come out. His grandkids form a circle around him. Turns out, he's stealing so they can all just have a life. I get it. So I let him go. Far as the corpos know, he's dead. Yep, I got cussed out pretty good. But sometimes, it's worth it to do some good in the verse. Sure, I'm a veritable wealth of information. Anything particular on your mind? Well, it ain't what I'd call hot tips, but they serve me well. Eat right, stay hydrated, exercise, just stay healthy. Don't hunt if you're sick. Last thing you want is an errant cough or sneeze to give you away when you're trying to use the element of surprise. Personally, I prefer the diplomatic approach. Just because we're all certified badasses who could easily lay out the toughest spacer punk doesn't mean you're not human. If you ask me, words are a tracker's most effective tool. You'd be surprised how far a little sympathy can take you sometimes. Failing that, most targets are cowards. They don't want to die. Exploit that fact when you can. Now that's a tough one. Depends on the situation. If you can't convince them with words, you may have to rough them up and put the fear of God in them. I suggest you learn as much as you can about human anatomy and physiology. It ain't pretty, but there are many things you can do to a body that ain't lethal, but may cause someone to wish they were. You got it, Chief. Sure, I don't mind sharing a little about myself, but not too much. I'm no agent number one, but I'm still a tracker. Been a tracker for over 30 years. Before that, I was what you might call a freebooter. I won't tell you what I did, but sure as hell wasn't above board. Well, suffice to say, that life can weigh on your soul. After a few close calls and some introspection, I came to the idea that I could do some good instead. Of course, it's hard to translate those kind of skills to the workforce, so here I am. Always saw to it to bring in my targets alive, in case they have any similar revelations. Yep, every single time. It ain't too hard when you've lived my life and seen the things I've seen. Folks deserve a second, third, even fourth chance. I'm living proof of that. Tell me, let's say someone puts a bounty on your head that you rightfully didn't deserve, or maybe you slipped up and had a bad day. You think it's right that they get to play executioner? See, you get it. And that's where I stand. I'm hired to bring them in, not decide their fate. Anyway, you're gonna do you, and I won't judge. Don't come crying to me if you can't reckon with your own demons. Leave
need
no
anything
quarter?
done out?
Sean, nah, I'm good too. Hey, how's the kiddo, by the way?
She's doing great. She just lost another baby tooth. She's really starting to read, too. Her dad's teaching.
How's your gear holding? How about that? We got a new tracker in the building. Name's Stash, and I'm more than just a pretty face. You ever need my help, you can step right over here to my little corner and we can talk shop. Whether it's for business or pleasure, it's up to you.
I'll just have to live vicariously through the
I tinker. I make, modify, and refurbish weapons and other equipment. For trackers only. But I don't do it for free, and I don't do it for credits either. I only take Astras. And you get whatever I give you. No questions, no special requests, no refunds. I was hoping you'd ask. Back during the Narian War, there was some serious concern that the banks were going to fail. So some enterprising individuals took matters into their own hands and started minting their own currency, Astras, just in case the worst came to pass. Anyway, Astras are rare, but they're out there, still used in some black market circles since they're untraceable by any government. Guns, melee weapons, lethal, non-lethal, suits, you name it. All with my own modifications. Good, and we're on the same page. I got all sorts of equipment. Let's see those Astras. Yep, there you go. Enjoy. You don't exactly have the Astras for that, do you? I got more where that came from. No problem. Lay it on me. Matter of fact, I do. But the most interesting ones aren't from my tracker field work. Instead, I'm gonna take you back in time to my youth. See, I was a scrappy little neon street rat. I tinkered, built homemade weapons, and armor made out of scraps I came across. You can imagine who might buy that sort of thing. That's right, gangbangers and other lowlives. I saw what they used these weapons for, but I had to make money, and it kept me safe from the gangs because they needed me. Well, I never did care much for those gangs, the way they preyed on folks weaker than them. So, when I found out about the trackers, I decided on a career change. Turns out I wasn't much for following rules. They said I was a bit of a loose cannon. But they liked my equipment, so here I am, peddling wares for other trackers. Well, when you grow up on the neon streets, you learn to fly by the seat of your pants. That doesn't always jive with protocol, even by tracker standards. Too much collateral damage. Don't worry, no one died. But let's just say I may have temporarily increased the homeless population. Anyway, I like what I do now. I'm putting my technical skills to use in a way that Trackers Alliance appreciates. Well, I don't miss it, that's for sure. Good to be where I am today. No, and yes. No, it's stash, like my mustache. Yes, it's kind of on the nose, like my mustache. Well, under it, but you get the idea. But yeah, it does work out like that, doesn't it? You're not the first to suggest it, and I doubt you'll be the last. And before you ask, no, I didn't grow the stash because I got a stash of goods or vice versa. Sometimes nicknames just stick. Catch you around.
If you're here to convince me not to kill again, you're wasting your time, old man.
Now hold on, it ain't always about that. I just want to know where you got that new hardware I saw you walk in with earlier.
I got it from Stash. Traded that old currency he deals in for it.
I can't confirm that.
Ain't that something?
The hunt continues. I hope you fare well.
I can't confirm that too.
After the Narian War, there were issues with extrajudicial vigilantism involving bounty hunting. The Trackers Alliance was formally established and sanctioned by the Freestar Collective and the United Colonies as a way to combat this growing problem. The governments of the settled systems hire us for our specialized skills and allow us to operate largely unhindered in exchange for holding us accountable. This mutual trust is rarely breached.
We'll see.
Certainly. It's largely the same whether you're finding targets of opportunity with your scanner, taking on an elite tracker bounty mission, or going after a target of interest. After you've convinced your target to surrender, or subdued them through non-lethal force, you can register them with the system. Registering them lets either local law enforcement or a specialized tracker know to come transport them away. With someone on their way, your target would not get far. They would be charged with additional felonies. It would only be worse for them. Yes, I won't go into the particulars, but even if you are in the furthest reaches of space, someone will eventually be directed to pick up your target. We have trackers who specialize in prisoner escort and detainment, rather than what we're asking you to do. They have the ships and equipment required to ensure successful handoff to the appropriate authority. I can see why you would ask, but no. Criminals are punished by the justice system depending on their crimes. Some of those punishments can be harsh. Not everyone in the Alliance feels the same about the motto, as it's a bit of a holdover from older times. It's more of a tradition, and it serves as a reminder to never give up and pursue your targets to the end of the universe, so they can face justice one way or another. Our system works pretty well for us. I am no one, by design. There has always been and always will be an Agent Number One to lead us. Upon assuming the mantle, one loses all traces of identity, including all of one's records and history, even gender and voice. You can imagine, many would seek to do harm to one in this position. To protect family and associates, our identity is more than confidential. It is eliminated from existence. I will simply state that our partnership with the United Colonies and Freestar Collective comes with some powerful tools. They call me Agent Number One, or Agent No One. Use they or them when speaking about me, as to further protect my identity. However, that had already been my preference. Yes and no. When one attains this position, ties to family and other associates are cut off. That is the most difficult aspect. As far as anyone knows, my former self is dead. Records of my life are mysteriously lost. I assume that is difficult for those one leaves behind. However, I am fortunate that I did not have many family, associates, or records to lose. My name was no great loss, nor were other aspects of my identity. I never conformed to gender, for instance. For me, it was an easy decision. As a rank-and-file tracker, it is not a requirement, but it is advised, for the safety of those you know. For a leader such as myself, it is an absolute necessity for the safety of the entire organization. Know that to attain my position of leadership, it was a combination of deeds, competency, professionalism, and above all, trust. An agent takes on a more administrative role, whereas trackers primarily work in the field. Often, when time and age catches up with the tracker, they become an agent, as their experience and wisdom is valued, and it can be difficult to re-assimilate into society. Both roles are equally crucial to our operation. Until you return.
Good work out there. But don't you ever want to learn from the best? I'm your guy. I did tell you I would, didn't I? Okay, fine. Been bounty hunting for a while. Before that, I was a line cook at a shitty little restaurant in Neon, of all things. Got no family, no close friends. In other words, no liabilities getting in the way of being the best tracker in the history of the Alliance. That's me in a nutshell. Well, you weren't that bad of a partner. You kind of grew on me. That, and I need someone to compare bounty scores with. I was hoping you'd be game. All these other losers think it's beneath them or something. Well, we'll see. Maybe you'll change your mind. There's hope for you yet.